Hello and welcome back to yet another yapping with me, Fellonius the Wizard. As you saw in the title, it's time for a top 10. In this case, it's the Swedish cities, and many of you know of the number one city, of course, it's Stockholm. There is too many people thinking that Sweden equals Stockholm. It's totally not so, but never mind, I've said that so many times before. I thought we should take the top 10 biggest Swedish cities. And when I got this list in my hand, I was actually pretty surprised because it contains, well, every city on the list is actually one of my favorites in some sort or way, or I have only positive memories from it, which is rather strange, I must say, because normally you always have something that you don't like or something like that. The only city that I don't like is Stockholm, and that's it, mainly because of the Stockholmians. I'm born there, so I have no idea why I don't like it. Second on this list is Gothenburg, which is by far my favorite Swedish city among everyone. There are several others that can compete, but there are none that can beat it. Gothenburg has one of the nicest people in Sweden. They are all funny, they are all friendly, and they are not as remote to strangers as they are in the rest of the country. Gothenburgans are, well, they are open people. Not all of them, of course, but they like to have fun, and that's actually more or less me as well. But I cannot live there. That would be too much. It's expensive, of course. It's always that like that in a big city. But it's also like I'm having all the good stuff all the time, and that makes it not good stuff. This is my favorite tourist town. I want to go there as often as I can, take the trams, go to the amusement park and all that, but not every day and not living there. Third largest city is Malmö, which is more or less the same as Copenhagen today because it's a bridge between them. And Malmö and Copenhagen is actually both very good cities. Now, Copenhagen lies in Denmark. Don't get me wrong on that one. But Malmö is also one of the friendlier cities, sort of. Now, they have had a lot of violence problems down there, but that is not the real Malmö. That is the bad Malmö, which you get in Chicago, which you get probably even in Kansas or everywhere else. But Malmö as such always hosts big events like motor shows and stuff, and every time I've been down there I've always been enjoying myself. Fourth on the list from 2019, I should probably say, is a town called Uppsala. It's actually one of the older towns, and for long I was thinking that Uppsala should have been the capital of Sweden. It is also the place where all the professors and all the learned guys are collecting themselves. We have a university there who has been there for, well, probably as long as Sweden has been alive, more or less. And they have collections there at that university you wouldn't dream of. If you want to learn, if you're a Swede and wants to learn more about different dialects, names, everything that has to do with the language, go to Uppsala. You will most likely be there for 5 or 10 years just trying to read everything they have collected. It is awesome. It is awesome. I was there just for a day, and I could have stayed there forever. the city itself is a city. Bicycles all over the place, and the students are biking around because it's an easy place to go around. And it looks very splendid, at least in the summer. I haven't been there in the winter. But you can probably say that of any city that has winters. Now, on 5th place is actually a town that I didn't know much about, Västerås. But my son went there to study, and I must say that it was a very good city. Very nice, very open spaced, very large parks and stuff, and a pizzeria. Moe's Pizza was, that was so good. But also very friendly people. Now, I was driving there. It is only 100 km from where I live, so it's not that far. And I was driving there, and the traffic through Västerås is so strangely different from other places I've been. Many places you can't get through, like Norrköping or some other towns. You can't get through there. But in Västerås, it's no big deal. You can find yourself somewhere on a small street, and they will help you out of there. You don't have to bother. Now, there are some strange signs to follow, but as long as you have taught yourself them, you learn how what they mean, you will totally just have flow through. I never had a stop in Västerås when I drove through it. Actually, my son is still missing that town, and he was actually doing some paper runs, I think, even. Västerås. If you ever go to Sweden, Västerås should be one of your biggest places to go to. Nothing much to do there except being with the Swedes. Good people indeed. And the same can go for number 6 on the list, Örebro. It is pretty much in the middle of Sweden. Not far from where I live either. I think it's like 150 kilometers or something like that. It goes pretty quick to go there. You should go there by train. But Örebro feels much bigger than all the other cities, more or less, except for Stockholm and Gothenburg. But it isn't. It's a very nice city. Now, the people, however, are a bit... It sounds like they are complaining all the time, but they are very nice. They're always friendly, and I liked it. I like it over there mostly because it is one of the big railway joints we have. You can go to Helsingborg, and you can go to even Örebro and Kumla, and you can go by train. And yeah, it's a very nice place. I like Örebro. Have some good old houses as well, so it feels like it's a modern city and still an old city. And they also have a university, of course. I should probably, you could guess, and so have Västerås. Next up is Linköping, which is also just 100 km from where I live. Linköping is a rather big city. But the main important thing about Linköping is, first of all, its traffic is totally jammed, but it also contains one of the biggest air museums in Sweden. Yes, it is the Swedish Air Museum at Malmö, and that is actually one of the things that I want to go to at least every other year. It should be time this summer, by the way. It should be time for that. Linköping, as when it comes to people, they are very friendly. They are very gentle. They are not stressed out or anything like that. Except for the visitors like me, who is stressed because the traffic is totally jammed. Last time I was there, I actually was with a guy who knew how it worked. He wasn't stressed. He just knew how it worked. On 8th place, we have outsider, I would say, it's Helsing Boy. And I was living, let's say, 10 k's outside of Helsingborg for 8 years. So Helsingborg was one of the first cities where I could go by tram. Now the trams are gone, but there are several very nice harbors, castles and other stuff in Helsingborg. The people are pretty friendly, mainly because they are almost half Danish. But I like the city because it feels open. It feels like there are more trees than houses, but perhaps I'm wrong. And by the way, I haven't been there for quite some time, so well, I liked it last time I was there anyway. Ninth is Jönköping, which lies in the southern edge of a long lake called Vättern. If you look at the Swedish map, you can see a very long lake in the middle of the southern part. In the south of that lays a town called Jönköping, together with another town called Huskvarna. Now, Huskvarna is renowned for its motorcycles and its what are they called now again? Bus or they can make these motor saws. We can cut down trees, but Jönköping is not. On the other hand, Jönköping has become one of the biggest computer places. DreamHack is always there, and me and the son and a couple of guys, we went down there. I just delivered them and then I could go down and fetch them again. But it's always easy to run through that town, and I can't really see how it's bigger than other towns that I know of, like Umeå. Umeå is not even on the list, which is a pity. But Jönköping is. It has been building up a lot, so it's a lot of industrial stuff and a lot of transportation. Many logistics companies has been gathered around Jönköping, mainly because it is a hub for all southern Sweden. 10th and last is actually one of the let's say it like this. It's one of the tram cities we have. We don't have much tram cities in Sweden. Trams is scarce. We have in Stockholm, we have in Gothenburg, and then we have nowadays in Lund, a very small one, but still. And then we have it in Norrköping, number 10, Norrköping. It lies like, I don't know, is it 5 kilometers from Linköping? But Norrköping as a city is much more fun to go and visit because it feels older. It feels like it has a history of sorts inside it. Don't drive a car inside Norrköping city, however. Take the tram or the buses because it's totally hard. But if you walk, you can go. Again, a lot of trees and stuff. I like Norrköping, and I really, really like the people down there. They are so gentle, they're so funny, and they are so easy to be with. There's no status, there's no things going wrong. If you come as a visitor, you are so welcome down there. And same goes for Linköping, that is also one of those. Those two actually together have a campus with a university. And I almost went to that city in order to study, but no, regrettably I didn't. Now I feel like I should. So here we have them. Number 1, Stockholm. Number 2, Gothenburg. 3, Malmö. 4, Uppsala. 5, Västerås. 6, Örebro. 7, Linköping. 8, Helsingborg. 9, Jönköping. And 10, Norrköping. I will write it down below. And if you feel like, oh, there's a lot of Köping here, Köping. Well, that was what they named cities before they became cities. But the name stuck because instead of calling them Norrstad or Lindstad, they just kept the coping name. So, yeah, that's how that works. Well, that was top 10 in Sweden. And as you know, we're only 10 million people around here. I mean, you in Chicago even have more in your little town. So, yeah, no big deal. Thank you for listening. Bye.